What's good, Outrage crew? Sitting here all broke, privileged, and thankful. Coming up on the holiday season. Let's get this shared out on Facebook. Let's get started. Let's have some fun today. Oh man, I've been toiling around, fucking around with my vape, trying to get it to work today. Been a goddamn nightmare. Um, it makes me laugh how like hopelessly addicted I am to nicotine now. Like I'm just like go into a blind rage when it doesn't work. Oh, dude, I believe I punched my console in my car. I was screaming a little bit there. Let's see. All right. Sharing it out on Facebook. We live, ladies and gentlemen. Outrage Cast is live. Let's go. Post on Facebook. We out there. We out in the internet. We out here interneting, baby. All right, I got a little got some goodies from last night from the stage. We can play a little clip. I came up with a nice little play on the white privilege concept, and it was fun last night. And got some compliments on my set. Somebody said, you know, it wasn't even racist. You know, that was a great bit on white privilege, and it wasn't even racist. Oh man, thank you. Oh, not much on the agenda today. We're just gonna hang out until we get some people in the chat and have a good little outrageous Thanksgiving celebration here. Thanksgiving week. We're gonna talk about how it feels to be as broke as I am and as privileged as I am and as oppressive as I am. I'm broke, privileged, and oppressive all at the same time, and it's just I'm everything all at once. It's such an exciting time to be alive. I'm everything all at once. I'm the main problem in society, and I'm also trying to escape the thumb of government overreach. So I'm just all over the place today on a fucking Wednesday. Wednesday, November 21st. We're chilling until we get some damn people in this stream chilling with me. But everything's all good. We got the dragon energy popping off. We got the vape working. You know, we getting into it. We're talking politics, as we do every day. You know, we're fearlessly venturing where everybody already ventures on Facebook and Twitter and all day long. But no, you know, I heard people talking about you shouldn't talk about politics when you go back home. I'm of the fortunate situation where my family are all pretty rational and just have basic common sense. So it's fun as hell to go and just hang out with my family and talk shit about all the crazy stuff the left has been doing. I used to have discussions all the time about the crazy shit that my parents supported, that it was like on George Bush's side. Like even after the Iraq War, like they had a hard time admitting George Bush was a bad dude. Hey, we got a viewer, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? How you feeling today on a Wednesday? Wednesday, November 21st. Coming up on that holiday time of year. Thankfully, we still had some sun out here in Hollywood, you know. 70 and sunny. And it was a little bit of clouds out there, but I was patient standing outside my apartment complex. Nobody came with their dog to doo-doo on my on the grass outside the apartment complex. So everything is, you know, no confrontations to so far today. We're just gonna go through some news here. Anybody in chat, throw up some topics if you wanna talk about some shit. Apparently Trump is getting in a back and forth with a Supreme Court Chief Justice. Oh, how dare he? How dare he undermine the Chief Justice? Let's go to this news story and see the spin they put on it. Shall we? Chief Justice John Roberts fires back. Let's see. After rare rebuke from Chief Justice John Roberts, Trump fires back on Twitter. And don't you love how every news site now, like when you go to the article, it automatically loads a giant video that like tries to collapse your entire browser. And then when you try to scroll down, it follows you. What's good, Justin? Does this annoy anybody else when they just go to an article to read what's happening and then it's a giant like splash video that pops up and usually an advertisement before what you're trying to watch, and then you try to pause it and it lags and it like pauses and plays and pauses and then plays again, and you always are offbeat on the click, and then you try to scroll down and you're like, get away from this video, and the video minimizes down and follows you in the corner and won't stop playing. Isn't that just the wonderful state of multimedia journalism on the internet? I can't stand it. Get your video. Nobody, they automatically assume you don't have the patience to read an article. Like, we're going to give you these moving pictures here so you can comprehend. Okay? You moron. Thank you, ABC News, for sparing me the reading of the words there and giving me those nice moving pictures. It'd be better if they boiled every news story down to like a cartoon. Can we put it in Looney Tune form? Can we make a South Park cartoon about what I need to understand about this article? Yeah, I'm trying to research stuff. I don't care about your ads. Give me the knowledge. Yeah, it's so just intrusive and fucking annoying. That's why I don't I stopped using ads. And let me know if you see any ads. I don't know if I've demonetized it fully, but I don't want any ads on the stream. I don't want people to have to click through shit to see it, and also that's another excuse for them to censor the channel, which I don't want. I like Stefan Molyneux's approach on that, where he just does his very best and kills it on his show, and then asks for donations and survives that way, and then he doesn't have to depend on the monetization or the ad revenue or anything. And that's just when you're talking about controversial stuff, especially, you're just setting yourself up to get your legs cut out from under you. So I don't want to do that. I just want to have a relationship with the lovely viewers out there, and I just want it to be beneficial on both sides. I don't like having to click through ads, to get to stuff. And I even like oh, we got the lovely Maxine Waters in the chat. What's going on, baby? I like females of the chocolate persuasion. Now, we probably disagree on politics, but baby, I like me some, I like me them ladies that look like slight, reincarnated transgender James Brown people. That's that's right up my alley. You could chase me out of a restaurant any day, baby. Um, but uh, but I even like what Alex Jones does a lot more than advertising. Like he has a lot of annoying advertising. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer like now I start like making T-shirts and selling supplements to fund the podcast, or like possibly get multiple cameras in here. From I'm trying to get people in here and do a live stream with me, some other comedians. Um, I haven't figured out how I'm gonna rig this setup to like catch both of us in the frame at the same time. But instead of doing any kind of ads, I hate listening to reads on podcasts, especially when you can tell it's all rehearsed and they don't really believe in the product. They don't really use the product. Like it's one thing to advertise something that you really use, and even then it feels corny and disingenuous. Um, but oh man, we got Maxine Waters and Jim Acosta in here. I'm glad to see the opposition to my ideas coming in and taking note of the rising grassroots opposition here on YouTube. And it's an honor to have my sworn enemies in here digesting my arguments. And let me tell you, these are satisfying arguments. They're not like simple sugars. They're not like a bowl of cereal that's going to leave you hungry an hour later. No, these are thick, hearty, rich arguments. Okay, they'll leave you digesting all day. You're going to be fueled up. It's going to be great. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, but what was I talking about? Oh, advertising. Um, yeah, I'd much rather just like have a donation model and then like create my own products maybe. Um, that's the model that seems to make the most sense to me. Um, oh, Adam Schiff's here too. Oh man, this the whole. I appreciate you doing some opposition research here. This is my fake accent that I'm putting on right now, and this is really what I sound like. I am. Um, you have found me. I am a defector from Russia, or at least that's what I tell Americans. I knew Putin sent me on the mission, and we are winning. We are winning. We have the president. We have the presidency, and soon we will conquer Democratic Party, and everything will be good. Everything is good when Russia conquer. Yes. They have they treat me like Ivan Drago. I'm hooked up to workout machine. I'm strong to take on the Democrats, and you have no chance. Your best chance is to submit to me and Putin, and we make things little easier for you. Yes, we make things nice transition into the new world order of America. Um, I think you spelled your name wrong. Trump spelled it Schitt. I'm confused. I thought you were Little Adam Shit. That's a conspiracy theory. Little Adam Shit. Um, so Trump apparently got in this heated back and forth with a chief justice. Recent criticism that the recent ruling against the administration's asylum policy, I like they use the word recent, like back to back like that. Spectacular journalism. Migrants was administration's asylum policy on migrants was issued by an Obama judge. And the judge says, we do not have Obama judges or Trump judges, Bush judges or Clinton judges. Roberts, who originally responded to the Associated Press, whatever, this is a boring ass article. fluff piece just to say Orange Man bad. ABC News reporting for ABC News. Orange Man bad. All right. Isn't the Orange Man so bad? Oh. They were playing. I was listening to Dave Smith's Part of the Problem podcast. It was a really good listen if you're libertarian oriented. And they were playing this clip from CNN where this woman came on and was just like, the mantra from the left is still Orange Man bad, Orange Man racist. Anybody who likes the Orange Man is racist. And it's so dumb. Like, they just flatly state it as if it's like a scientific fact that Trump is a racist. And apparently that was the big racist plan, was to get in and do all he could to improve the economy and give all these minority people's jobs. So yeah, Jim, how are you feeling, Jim, after Jim Acosta says, "Dear Diary, I hit a bitch"? That's it's very honest of you. And how does it feel to be guilty of assaulting a woman live on camera in front of the entire nation? That's got to be pretty rough. I mean, in this current climate, it's got to be especially rough. Okay, you're out there karate chopping women, and oh yeah. You have the fake, news to cover my tracks. See, that's beneficial. The news is going to look to expose all of my tracks, which is why I'm publicly putting out all my positions on this podcast, and I will be 100% blackmailable and blacklisted from Hollywood. And it's fine with me. We're creating our own thing here, because who wants to attach themselves to those rotting, decaying institutions anyway? I would like to make a big blockbuster movie, but I go and meet with managers and they expected me to be black, and because I wrote a blaxploitation script, really expected you to be black. Somebody told me that, and they say, "Oh, everything's great. Would you want to make this movie?" And then you don't hear back from them for 6 months, and it's like, I don't have time for that. We got live streaming to do, baby. Auntie Black. Maxine Waters. Maxine, it's really noble what you've been doing, leading the charge on impeaching Donald Trump. I'm not sure what the charges would be for impeachment, but Orange Man bad and Russia bad. So I do see the connection there. When Orange Man is bad and Russia is bad and they get together, whoa. Okay, there's got to be some kind of impeachable offense there. Probably something to do with vodka and hookers and urine fetishes and something's there. Okay, let's get R. Kelly on the case and let's figure this out. Yeah, Justin Potts, that's my justification for not being a part of the Hollywood movie complex. I don't approve of the state-sponsored funding that the studios get out here, and so it's really a moral conflict why I'm not driving a Bugatti right now and having my movies played in the theaters. It's really a noble moral stand I'm making. I've been offered gigantic movie franchises. The Rock won't quit calling me. Like, I had to block The Rock. Okay, I had to block his number because all he does is work out and then call me and want to be in my movies. And I'm like, dude, relax. Okay, I don't want any black people in my movies. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, Dice Clay is one of my favorites of all time, man. What's good, Dirt McGirt? Yeah, it's what was that last comment? Oh, Dice Clay. Yeah. Dice Clay. Um, yeah, he that one that was really the beginning, like in the early '90s, of the like real politically correct pushback, and he wasn't political at all. He was like that was more of like the religious right type conservatism. Um, Maxine Waters doing Dice Clay material about The Rock. The Rock, I fucked him. Oh! I chased him out of a restaurant. Oh! You think you can come in here and get some goddamn baba ganoush? Fuck you. Ass fucking parties every night, okay? Little boy Blue, he went to a restaurant and we blew him. We blew him away. We bashed his head in with a bike lock. Hey! But Dice Clay wasn't even political. He was just like, had a misogynistic character that he played on stage. And that was probably the beginning of, the and he couldn't even escape the evil white male stereotype, even being a Jewish guy. I guess because he was playing an Italian, and the Italians play up that machismo, traditionally masculine archetype, which is just evil. Okay, it's evil to be masculine, and that's why we drug the little boys in school when they start acting like young men. And so they need to be nice and docile and passive. And we drug them in the schools if they get a little too wild. And that's what's important. Drugging your kids to get their energy down. Okay? Yes, I believe Dice Clay's fucking white male. He can be categorized as a fucking white male, and yeah, that's why he had to be shut down. He had to be shut down, and he was corrupting the youth, kind of like Socrates. That's what Dice Clay and Socrates had in common. I'm sure Socrates liked that big fat fucking ass too. Richard Nixon in the ass. Yeah, Dice has a podcast now. I listen to it all the time. It's him and his sons. You can look it up on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever. It's called the Dice Cast. But yeah, this isn't a podcast either. He says this isn't a podcast. This is a Dice Cast. This isn't a podcast either. Okay, this is an Outrage Cast. All right, we're trying to get your blood boiling here at the Outrage Cast, and we push it to the limit. Past the point of no return. That's what we do on the Outrage Cast, baby. We're pushing the limits. Push it to the limit. That makes me think of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I love playing those Grand Theft Auto games, man. It help you get your frustrations out as a young man. You can't vent any of your frustrations in school. You get in trouble. You get detention. You get suspended and whatnot. So, you go home and shoot some people up on Grand Theft Auto and mow down a flock of hookers on the sidewalk. And it's just makes you feel a lot better. You can't do that shit in real life. It's kind of looked down upon, Sometimes driving around broke in LA, you wish you could just pull up to somebody in their Maserati and toss that motherfucker out and just get in and just push it to the limit. And mow down a flock of hookers on the sidewalk. But it's bad. You shouldn't do those things. Better left to the video games. I used to be super addicted to video games, man. I had one summer where I was playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, dude, online with my friends, and god damn, dude, I would play for fucking 8 hours straight. 8 hours straight, dude, taking those 30, those 2-minute breaks in between rounds, and then going and pissing and grabbing some snacks from the kitchen and hustling back and right back on the controller all fucking day long. Just sitting there wondering, like, why am I not getting laid? I don't understand. The high school days, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Vercetti, I fucked him. Oh! That's good, man. That's good. But yeah, this is the outrage. This is an outrage cast. This isn't a podcast. We're getting fired up here. I had a nice little joke that worked on stage last night talking about white privilege. I already played a set where I bombed the other night, so well, I didn't really bomb the other night, but I kind of trailed off. But let's check out this little stand-up clip here in a little bit. We're gonna get to that. What else we got going on in the news? White House approves use of lethal force for border troops. Oh, I'm sure the lefties on Reddit are up in arms at the outrageousness of defending your own borders. How dare you? How dare you defend your borders? Oh, it's just evil. And as a libertarian, it's weird because you don't want to recognize any. You don't want to really recognize any borders. Like borders are arbitrary lines drawn on a map that represent the area where a government reserves the right to collect those taxes in that area. And so theoretically, you should be able to move around and go and live wherever you want. Threatening gun owners with nukes. I did hear something about that. We might get into that. I'll write that down. Gun owners, nukes. But the problem is, like, when you have a big redistributionist state with a welfare system, and then you have the left who is like desperately trying to claw for power and make the government bigger, and they don't understand economics, so they're like, we're teetering on like an economic collapse possibly, unless Trump can help us grow out of it. But when you have that type of situation that we have now, allowing a bunch of immigrants that come from third world countries with big corrupted governments, they are going to come in and get welfare and then vote for the people that are giving them welfare, which leads us down a bad path, ladies and gentlemen. So then the libertarian is left with the practical problem of we really should do our best to not collapse the economy and kill the golden goose until we get, we're trying to ultimately get more freedom. But, when we have this big state system that we have now and the welfare system, it's just not a good idea to be letting these motherfuckers in. Yes, that's what I'm out here in Hollywood doing, Skittle B. I'm out here doing stand-up every night and trying to write some goddamn movies, break into this industry. But I'm also, at the same time, I'm burning all of my ideological bridges in Hollywood by doing this podcast. Yes, I am voluntarily disarming myself by living in California, when you gotta like trade in one of your kidneys to be able to get a gun out here. So I'm making that calculation, and we're doing our best out here. So somebody threatened gun owners with nukes. Let's search that. Eric Swalwell. Oh yeah, I saw this on Twitter. Swalwell responded to a guns rights enthusiast who said the Democrats' proposal to confiscate or buy semi-automatic rifles would result in war due to resistance from gun owners, stating it would be a short war because the government has nukes. Oh, oh boy. That's the hilarious argument that people make, like when you say that the Second Amendment is to prevent from a tyrannical government takeover, they're like, oh, you and your little AR-15 are going to stop the government tanks, aren't you? And it's like, well, that's assuming that in the event that the government becomes like coming to confiscate your guns, and like it's assuming that all of the people in the military are going to cooperate with going door to door and like going and like basically participating in a civil war against their own countrymen, which is like a stretch in itself. But in the event, we still have them drastically outnumbered. So if you have 300 million people that armed to the teeth uh, versus like what, 100,000 people in the military-industrial complex. I mean, I don't care what type of weapons they have. I mean, yeah, yeah. It's strength in numbers, and it's for the theoretical slow. It's not going to happen all at once. Oh my God, we elected Hitler. That's what the left thought when Trump won. Oh no, we elected Hitler, and then they still wanted to give their guns to the government and give our guns to Hitler. Keep us safe. Um, but yeah, the main argument when it comes to gun ownership. It's not. It is in the event of a tyrannical government, you can defend yourself, but also it's just a personal freedom argument. It's the same thing with drugs. It's the same thing with like, do you have the right to protect your own body or like decide what you put in your own body? Yeah, the side and the military is definitely on. There's a lot more patriots per capita than any probably um, institution in the government. So um, Trump, that was one thing Trump did well, is he got on the military side. Um, Hillary thought getting on the military side was like, we should go to war with Russia. You know, let's have a no-fly zone over Syria. And don't worry, military man. We'll reinstitute the draft. We'll get some of those regular fucking white males out there, and we'll send those people to the tundra in Russia. And it'll be fun. Some people are chatting it up down here. Ultimately, either way, we'll eventually get America back. I just hope it's done peaceful. Yeah, I think, you know, with the exchange of information and arguments on the internet, people are waking up and, you know, they're starting to realize that the horseshit propaganda game that the left has been playing. And like that clip that Dave Smith pulled up on Part of the Problem, this chick was just like, Trump is blatantly racist, and I don't even have to list all the examples of him being blatantly racist because it's just apparent. And so she didn't list anything that quote unquote proved him to be racist. And then she's like, why did these white women vote for him? Oh, they're part of the oppressed class, and but they do have a soft spot for these evil white racist males out there who voted for Donald Trump, and it's just we just have to convince the white women that these white men are pure evil filth, and gonna be hard to do. Gonna be hard to do because we have wonderful, benevolent political outrage casts like this show going on. So all my principles are laid out, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I think people are coming around to reason you know, it's just going to be a long, slow process. And there's a lot of tension with it because the government is so big and we're fighting over power and shit. But the longer Trump goes on without catastrophic incident, the harder it gets for the left to keep making him out like some kind of psycho racist. You know, the big racist plan: give minorities jobs. Dude, minority unemployment is like, it's the lowest it's ever been. And, you know, so of course, super racist to expect the minorities to work. They should just have some reverse slavery in their favor. Okay, we need revenge for slavery, so the white people need to work and pay the bills of the minorities. Okay, that's how modern servitude works. Modern serfdom. Welcome to the leftist plantation. All right, let's get out of these articles here. What else is going on? American tourists killed by remote tribe with bows and arrows. Oh, wanted to convert them to Christianity. 9 trillion corporate debt bomb bubbling in economy. Yeah, I mean, from all the economic analysis I've seen, like you listen to Peter Schiff, and people who understand markets and everything. I mean, the Federal Reserve has just put us in this situation where it's really like dangerous. It's really dangerous that a bubble might burst. That the student loan debt like has piled up, and that all these fraudulent fake degrees that universities are handing out. They're not teaching you anything. They're just propagandizing you in identity politics, and then people can't get jobs, and it's not good. I really wish, you know, I say I wish I didn't go to college, but man, that's how I met the dude that I moved out here to California with. I met him in a Stanley Kubrick class, and we came out here and started doing our thing. But you do still like meet people, and there's opportunities in college. But man, as far as like getting a legitimate job, you better be a goddamn doctor, or that's about it. Because the H-1B visas, they're coming over taking all the engineering jobs and shit from other countries in India and all of that. So those markets are drying up too. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on? I had a damn vape crisis before the show. Oh, Maxine Waters drives a truck. Okay. There you go. I drive for a living as well. Driving Postmates, delivering, you know, food to these lazy ass motherfuckers out here in Hollywood. Just wanting their delicious food delivered straight to their doorstep, you know. These oppressed white women up in the Mount Olympus mansions. They actually have a neighborhood called Mount Olympus out here, not too far from my apartment, where it's like this incline hill straight up into the Hollywood Hills, and it's absurd how fucking opulent these houses are, dude. They like open the door just to for you to hand them their Postmates bag, and they don't even want you to see the spectacular view right behind them. They just open it a crack, and it's like, oh, everything you've ever wanted, oh, everything you've ever imagined, oh, and they're like, reach out of the door and like, don't look at it, you know. Aren't you parked in the red, faggot? Get, you know. They don't want you to see it. I don't know. I might be the same if I had a big goddamn mansion out here in Hollywood. I want to stay enclosed. Get everything delivered to you. Be nice and insulated. But yeah, the gun control argument is the same argument as personal freedom with drugs. Do you have the right to either protect your own body or like put substances in your own body or not? Or do you give that right to the state to decide what's best for you? So it's just a personal freedom argument. You own your own body, and so you own the actions of your body, and so that's personal responsibility. And then, but the government gets to tell you if you should have a gun or not. Dangerous little plebeian there with his gun. Dangerous little plebeian there smoking marijuana and questioning the system. Don Lemon and I do lots of coke. That's unsettling. That's unsettling. I thought that he had a relationship with Anderson Cooper. Is he cheating? Or is this some kind of orgiastic fake news smorgasbord? I feel like that's how the mainstream media gets their frustrations out. You know, when they can't take down Trump in the media, and they're just, fuck, he got us again. He trolled us again on Twitter. And, you know, we spent all day talking about him and gave him free promotion all day, and he's still going strong. What the... These damn white women. And so they're all like pent up and frustrated, and then, you know, all the fake news distributors, they get together and have big orgiastic eyes wide shut parties and fuck each other in the ass until they pass out. I think that's what happens. That's the inside intel from my inside sources, my anonymous sources. And yeah, that's the main thing they do, is they have giant black porn actors come in, and Acosta likes getting abused. Is I think and it's like a fun like show that they do. I think when how much dick can Jim take, you know, and then like they all crowd around and start taking bets, you know, and spraying whipped cream on everything, and that's how they get their rocks off, because they can't beat Trump and they can't convince the American people that anything they're saying is true. But you know, they just have to convince themselves. You know, it's kind of like Jim Acosta taking that porn star cock. He's just got to like tell himself that it's possible. It's probably, you know, if you have that kind of attitude, that's how you're going to beat Trump in 2020. You got to take all the dick and take it with a straight face. Jim Acosta says, sometimes I even take a shit in the middle of the floor and protest. That'll show Trump, you know. That's one way to show Trump that you mean business, and that you're not fake news. That's probably what he should do in the White House press room. He should probably just, when the president passes over him and doesn't take his question, he should probably just gulp down some laxative and pull down his pants and just in the middle of the White House. Like, that would be a good principled protest of Trump's evil. I think that would bring some real attention to how evil Donald Trump is if Jim Acosta just shit his pants live on national television and said, Trump made me do it. I think that's a good strategy for the Democrats. I think that's probably something they're discussing, and it should be. Um, that's my favorite thing when they. That's my favorite thing when like the left just bends over backwards, making themselves look like idiots, trying to make Trump look like an idiot, and like they just get trolled over and over and over, and their insanity is starting to show. The emperor's clothes are starting to slip off, and it's starting to be revealed how fucking corrupt and dumb these people are. It'll all come out with time, patriots. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and yeah, the left does the work for Donald Trump for him. They just get progressively more and more insane until even like regular, like liberal people just have to distance themselves because it's so disgusting and absurd. Get a little bit of Perrier flowing here. Perrier, they're not a sponsor of the podcast, but I do drink them. So if Perrier wants to ship me giant boxes of Perrier for free, not gonna turn it down. Yeah, that was another good policy idea from Maxine Waters to just go and kind of harass and assault people in public. That's a good political position to have, as like when you, because like when you can't get people to agree with your ideas, what else you gonna do? You gotta kick them in the stomach, you know? I mean, that's how you win political arguments. You know, if they're not responding to when you call them a racist, if they're not, you know, apologizing, if they're not backpedaling, like, oh, I'm not racist. If they're not doing that, when you call them a racist, because you will inevitably call them a racist when they have a good argument and you don't have a response, it's fine. Call them a racist. But when they don't respond to that, what are you going to do? You just got to hit them with a bike lock and shove them out of the restaurant. That's political policy. That's good philosophy. That's how you should live your life. And Maxine Waters is my spirit animal. Anybody have a spirit animal of the turkey out there? And turkey is a fucking ugly animal, isn't it? Just got a big bright red ball sack hanging off its beak. That's just atrocious looking. And Maxine Waters' face is very strange. It's very strange how smooth her skin is on her face. I don't know what's going on there. It looks like her face is made out of Play-Doh. Turkey is the food of the white supremacist, I think. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because, you know, generally you eat turkey around, you know, family gatherings, and we know families are bad. So, all white supremacists have strong families, and that's bad. We need to have single motherhood. We need to have single, hardworking, independent women out there that are working in offices instead of raising children, and that's freedom and that's liberation. And you know, unless you want to be a slave to a white supremacist, don't be a stay-at-home mom, because that's what it is. You're standing barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen with a baby that probably already has a swastika tattoo on its forehead in your stomach. That's what happens when you get into those relationships, okay? You're stuck with an oppressive husband who probably rapes and beats you every night, and you know, he's He's a white supremacist, most likely. So, and he probably voted for Trump, and that's modern slavery. Don't think about what happened in Libya with Obama and Hillary, and now there's slave trade over there. That's white people's fault too, because Obama only did that because white people were being so racist to him, and Hillary only did that because she knew that people wouldn't accept a woman president because they're so sexist and deplorable. So it's not their fault. The real modern slavery is staying at home and raising your own children, and serving your white supremacist husband. The blacks like wild turkey. Interesting. Please tell me more. Perhaps domesticated turkeys, and because they're usually white, wild turkeys are black. Yes. Because, you don't want the domesticated white supremacist turkeys, because that has to do with family, and that's cohesion, and that means you're not dependent on the government, which is bad. So what you want to do is never have a family, be dependent on the government, have the government be your center of gravity. Just rotate around the government, and just whatever they say is what you are. And don't have any preferences of your own, and just accept what democracy has decided for you. Okay? Maxine Waters got them lips slapping down there. This is the best troll account ever. Hold up. Yeah, it's really absurd how dumb the representatives in California are. Like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi, and I think Chuck Schumer is the other one. I don't know if he's even California, but I don't even keep track of the state representatives, because it's like they're just so corrupt and dumb and playing down to the lowest common denominator, and people just somehow don't see through this. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it's wacky land out here in California. I went stunning and brave. Chuck Schumer is stunningly brave. Like his niece, Amy Schumer, her comedy is stunningly brave. Like, she talks about her vagina constantly, and it takes courage. Yeah, Amy Schumer got promoted by the establishment for talking about being a whore and, the inner workings of her vagina and everything. But Dice Clay gets banned for that. That's who she really is. She's not playing a character. Amy Schumer just glorifies being essentially a slut, and like doing all this in like degrading type of shit, and talking about all these abortion jokes, and that's fine. But Dice Clay can't have a nursery rhyme where some little boy gets his cock sucked. It's pure evil. But yeah, let's real quick. Let's play the white privilege joke that I did last night. See what y'all think about it. Opening up the file here.
It's kind of a weird concept to me because, like,
okay, here we go.
Shit, I've been thinking about my white privilege, you know. It's kind of a weird concept to me because, like, what it fundamentally comes down to is you're blaming white people for creating a society that works well for white people. Yeah. Nobody in China gets blamed for Chinese privilege. It's like, yeah. Mostly us. We kind of just set the shit up for us. If you don't understand the culture, it's kind of on you. You got to figure this shit out. But it's a lot less shameful. It's more shameful to be like, oh, you have white privilege than to be like, oh, your ancestors had a lot of rational self-interest. I guess. I don't know. No choice in the fucking matter.
So there we have it. White privilege boils down to blaming white people for setting a society up that works really well for white people. How dare you? Why did you establish this society that works well for your friends and family and you? You didn't design it specifically to be conquered by third world immigrants and people that aren't you. You want to be comfortable as a white person? White supremacy. That's what that means to me. And the line about nobody gives Chinese people shit for Chinese privilege in China, that always gets a laugh because people are like, they haven't thought of it like that white people started this country, and so, but people have this different idea of America. It's a nation of immigrants, so it's just open for plundering by anyone who wants to come in. And it's like, no, you're taking white people's kindness for weakness. That's what Alex Jones says all the time. They're taking our kindness for weakness. And it's really that this is the most open, most free, most accepting and tolerant culture the world has ever seen. And what do we get what do we get? What is the word I'm looking for? What do we get as thanks for that, for being the most open and tolerant society? We get exploited for it. And we have an entire political class on the left set up to punish white people for being as nice as they are and set up these redistributionist systems that take money from the successful people and give it to these people that aren't successful. And that should be a charity thing. It shouldn't be forced at the point of a gun through the state. But that's what white people get for being nice. Okay, that's what the world gives you in return for being nice. They, Owen Benjamin had this great joke, like, if you give the LGBTQ community an inch, they'll take 9. I love a good dick joke, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of dicks, I gotta urinate out of my gigantic penis here, and I'll be right back. Now, if you hear the flow in the background, just give a salute, and it's your fearless leader's flow, and I'll try to keep it down. It's it's kind of pathetic. I can't hold my liquids for an hour podcast a day. I'm all hopped up on 7-Eleven coffee and Perrier, dude. It's not my fault. I'm a victim, and I'm claiming victimhood, and you need to accept that. One of the things I'm talking about tonight on stage, I think, is just how it feels when you're really broke. Like I'm so broke right now. I'm like, you ever been just afraid to check your balance in your bank account? Like it's right there on an app on your phone. You type in one password and you see your balance. But sometimes you're like, I don't even check it for like a week. I'm just like, I don't even, when I even think about opening the app, I get anxiety. And I'm like, I just got to go to work. I just got to put my head down and go to work. And it'll all take care of itself if I work really hard. That's what, the American dream. So I don't even want to check my bank account, dude. It's like the really broke people and really rich people have something in common. Neither of them check their bank accounts. Like, once you get to a point of money where you have so much money, you're like, I'm just, I can afford it. Whatever. I'm not even going to bother opening the app. And then, like, when you're broke, it's like, I can't afford it. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to open my app. I had a weird moment the other day. I was just buying a fucking Big Gulp at a 7-Eleven, and I had a fucking awkward moment where the card was almost like looking like it wasn't going to go through. And I knew I had enough money to buy a 75 cent Big Gulp, but it was still like, it was still a moment of tension. Like, it was taking a minute to go through, and I'm like, really? Is this not going to go through? You gotta get out there and do some goddamn Postmates, and well, sometimes they're 99 cents. Sometimes they'll give them to you for like 79 cents. We got the special on the Big Gulps out here. We got it going on. But we also have to pay almost $4 for gas. So. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, living that broke lean life. This is the majority of my food I'll be consuming today. $2.99 at the. I'll be sustaining myself with Ralph's nuts. So thank you, Ralph, whoever you are, but your nuts are keeping me alive. It's my lifeline. I'm on that peanut life. That's the get rent week means peanut life, and yeah, that's what it's gonna be. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be up at the the Fourth Wall Comedy Club in North Hollywood. If anybody's out here in LA, come out, come have a good time. The shows are rocking up in North Hollywood. We get down, we get crazy, and yeah, I'm trying to work more angles on my political jokes, because like I get to like off into like commenting on shit that's going on, and I forget to make it personal. And it is like the simplest stuff to like. Oh, Dirtweed got hooked up with some sausage in the mom and pop place. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going home for Christmas. I'm gonna get fed up all week, boy. I'm gonna get fed up. But yeah, what the fuck was I just saying? I forgot what I was saying. I lost my damn train. Gas here is under 250, so I suppose I should not complain. Yeah. All that home cooking, baby. Yeah, boy, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. Go home and get some of that home cooking. Oh, political jokes. Yeah, it's. I'm starting to realize everything can be brought back to me, like the just being a straight white male, because that I'm like the epicenter of evil in the leftist mindset. I'm what's wrong for society. I'm the fucking straight white male from the middle of the country who voted for Donald Trump and who does this and dog whistles to my white supremacist listeners. Yeah, I wish I had the Ace Ventura hair so I could, get a real like white devil thing going on. Because that's just what happens when you support freedom and you have less melanin. You just become Hitler. But yeah, everything can be tied back to being a fucking straight white male and how I'm destroying the country. But yeah, the left's going to keep playing the identity politics game. They're going to keep losing. It's just a losing bet in America, because what unites people in America is ideals of freedom and wanting to succeed and be prosperous and kick ass and make a bunch of money. And so the whole fundamental cultural Marxist thing comes from like this envy of like beta losers that can't stand to see other people succeeding and don't understand why they're not succeeding, even though they're not working hard at anything. That's you can tell that energy is strong out here in LA. The nerdy beta resentment based on how many Bernie Sanders stickers you see. Bernie will save us from these fucking these actual men who do actual work. Those oppressors. Yeah. So they're going to keep doing their nonsense, and Trump's going to keep doing his thing, and hopefully we can move toward an actual like more libertarian president after Trump. But for now, we just sit back and enjoy the triggering, everybody. Have some nice. Hopefully, there's no political conflicts over the Thanksgiving table. Be great just doing a show on stream.me. Go on the hashtag #killstream. Well, I'm a proponent of the non-aggression principle. I don't know about a kill stream. That sounds a little aggressive. I have a smokehouse with 5 pigs hanging in it. I've shoved some through the internet if I could. Oh, goddamn, Argyle, you fucking masculine, toxic bastard. Just slaughtering those poor defenseless animals. You watch that movie Babe with the cute little pig who could talk, and you just wanted to turn him into bacon. You savage. Yeah, dude. I wish I had some fresh killed game to chew on, but I got this goddamn store-bought eggs and beef. That's what I'm on. Alright, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Eating some squirrel. There you go. It's a rat with a pretty tail. Just like a lobster is, an underwater cockroach that happens to be delicious with butter. I delivered 2 lobster pizzas last night up to this dude in the Hollywood Hills. $50 a piece for some lobster pizzas. And dude, he was living it up. Fucking lobster pizza life. Hopefully I get a good tip from that dude. But speaking of tips, I got to go out there and get some more of these, extract some monies from these goddamn leftist elitists out here. You know, they're gonna tip me and then see me pulling away, and they're gonna see the InfoWars bumper sticker on the back of my car. Then I'm like, damn it, can I take it back? No, you can't. You've contributed to the resistance. The fire of 1776 is alive and well in Los Angeles. It will not be extinguished. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be up at Fourth Wall Comedy Club tonight doing my thing, rocking it out. If you like the podcast, like it. If you, 1776 will commence again. If you want to see 1776 commence again, share the podcast out. Tell your friends. I got clips on my Facebook, Nick Jordan. It's me with a microphone. The picture, Nick Jordan in Los Angeles. And then Nick Jordan himself on Instagram. I'll be sharing clips out of this. And then you can get the full podcast to listen anytime you want. The audio on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere you get podcasts, called the Outrage Cast, all one word. So this isn't a podcast. Don't tell your friends it's a podcast. It's an Outrage Cast. Okay? Yeah. We're getting outrageous here every day live on the internets, and I love hanging out with y'all. It's so fun. And if you want to contribute, the Bitcoin address is down below. You can send me super chats and whatnot in future streams or whatever. But yeah, I love y'all. Love you. I love the Outrage crew. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wind it down for today. And I'll catch you back tomorrow. Later. Happy holidays, everybody. Mwah.